Good day to everyone, viewers at home, all over the world. Welcome to our series on thriving through this trying times. Amazingly, we are at our 10th episode and we have been coming live at you weekly from 5 to 5:30 on Facebook Live and IG Live from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Yesterday we talked about opportunities. How do we identify opportunities? And we went further to let us know that opportunities abound everywhere. Even right now, in the midst of COVID-19, we are still surrounded by opportunities. But the question is, are you and I going to see that? Or are we going to dwell on what we cannot control? And we said we need to dwell on what we can control, because there's something in your hand, in my hand right now, that we can begin to stir up to make it work for us. But today we're taking a little different tangent. I'm saying welcome to disruption. Yes, disruption. I know in the past when we hear of disruption, it's putting a halt, a sudden halt to something that's going well. It's more like destroying something. But in this case, we see that there's a sudden disruption. And the past few years, we've experienced innovative disruptions. The way I'm talking to you right now, it's a disruption right in your home. You know, whether you want to or not, this comes on, it creates a distraction to you. So that's what we're experiencing. But thankfully, before we suffered this COVID-19, thank God that there was such innovative things that can help us to still stay connected with each other, despite the fact that the world says stay home, wash your hands, social distancing. We're still connecting, business is still being consummated every single time. And thankfully, the social innovation is really what's helping all of us now. As we know, times have changed, and times will remain changed forever. As you know, most of us probably never had to try letting our employees work from home, or even us as the owner of companies trying to work from home. We always thought that we have to carry our physical body somewhere and be able to do what we need to do. But hey, we had to improvise. And for some of us, it has not been as crazy, as painful as it would be, because work is still going on. Some days I see that we're even busier than when we had to go physically to work. So that's the disruption that you and I are experiencing right now. This is the time for innovation. This is the time to ensure that whatever you find in your hands, whatever you can learn, whatever new tool you can learn, you learn it. The world has been forced to adapt to new systems and structures. So very soon, there might not be a need for something. I mean, if we're doing any mailing and shipping, we're going to be avoiding intermediaries now. We are going to be circumventing those who maybe were the logistics professionals. We're going straight to those who are the vendors. So that's a disruption right there. So those people too would have to find an innovative way to ensure that they can still stay in the game. Like drones are becoming more popular, and I hear more will be coming, that even shipment and logistics will be done through drones. So as some of us are doing what we're doing, and there are disruptions in different ways, I want to challenge all of us to look at ways that we can still innovate despite what is happening around us. I never had to work from home before. I never knew that that was something that could be enabled. I never had taught from home. But all of a sudden, everything we needed happened because there was already a system. There were some things that were already built to enhance it. So when it happened, it was not so strange. People are now doing social media. They're doing a Zoom for meetings. They're doing Zoom parties. People are just getting creative. They're doing Zoom for conferencing, going live with you now. So many things are still happening despite the disruption. It's a good disruption in a way, because we could have never found out that if the whole world shut down, that we could still leave. I wonder what we would have done if we didn't have all of this innovative disruption that started coming into our lives. Of course, there are pluses and negatives, but right now we're going to dwell on the positives because that's what's allowing the world to still get connected and to stay as a globe. There's less human involvement, meaning I don't have to go to work physically. Some of us don't have to go except for the essential personnel. Even some medical professionals, they're doing telemedicine now. That's also being used. If you're not experiencing any major illness, nobody wants you to come to them right now. They are going to get to talk to you online through what they call telemedicine, and you describe what's wrong with you. They look at you through camera and they tell you what to do. So you don't have to go out and get diagnosed for maybe a headache or just a cold that you need to rest. They're minimizing the interactions that's possible, and work is still getting done. Things are still happening well. There's more ease of using these things. In the past, we thought, oh, we have a choice. But when you know there's no choice, that your only means of communication and connecting is what it is now, I bet you we are all stepping up again. We're still learning. I'm still I'm learning in process, but we learn every day. Some people maybe couldn't use WhatsApp. There may be some older generation that didn't really care about the WhatsApp group and all of that. But if that's the only way they can see the picture of someone or to engage, people are they're opening up and embracing the new ways of doing things. We're reducing movement to access service. You do not have to go and have something delivered to you. All of those things have been reduced in a way that you still get your stuff. They will bring it to you. You go to a carry-out, they bring the stuff to you in your car. Who could have thought that that could be done? Some days we were tired and we still had to get out of our car and go pick up something. But now you just get to the drive-thru. If it's food, they come and they give it to you and you go. Even in the pharmacy store, they'll rather you just stay in your car, you drive by and they give it to you. So this is giving, what is happening now is giving a lot of ideas to corporations, to individuals, to know that, you know what, there are new ways of doing things. So the disruption we're talking about is not totally catastrophic. It might need some learning curve, it might have some teething stage, but it's making life still go around. That's again why we're able to connect right now. The companies take care of the stress. Again, this might not be as stressful once we figure what are we doing and how can we make sure that what we are doing is in alignment. People might be able to enjoy better work-life balance now that they know you don't have to be physically at that meeting. You can hop online and you're still you. So whatever knowledge you need to share, you can still share it right there and then without you leaving the confines of your home or leaving your family responsibility, but you could still share the goodness. Our very existence will be greatly affected. We know that. We all like that warm, fuzzy touch and feel. But right now, we know that there are other ways. So the fuzzy touch and feel, even when we get back to normalcy, it might not be necessary for you and I to get to do that touchy feeling and all of that. And because that will be the case, there will be less there will be less pollution. That's the word I'm looking for. If people don't have to drive from point A to point B, there will be less cars that will be on the road, and they can maybe we will have better air and better health condition that we would all need to do. Many jobs right now, they're online. A lot of jobs are online, and they're constantly advertising for jobs that are online, jobs that are relevant to different things, as simple as anything you can imagine, just to answer the call or phone call, or to just take questions from people who are calling. Businesses still have to service their customers. There's no other way around it. Any business that does not service their customers will lose the customers. As much as we can say, oh, this is a very turbulent time, people should understand. Human beings are human beings. They might have some patience for a little bit, but they want results. They want, if you say you're going to deliver in 2 hours, maybe if they're patient, they give you till 4 hours, but they want you to be able to deliver. And if you want to execute an idea right now, this is a good time. Your ideas right now, that you're looking around the world, you're seeing the global movement and the global halts that we're all at, and every day, if you're one of those techie people, you're online, as you're seeing all of those things, ideas will be coming to you. And the ideas that are coming to you, you need to address it now. Because those ideas are ideas that we need, because the whole world is disrupted now. There's that innovation that is needed and is needful for every nation. So if you are someone who maybe have ideas as you're seeing life evolve, or as you're experiencing the kind of life that you're experiencing now, you can now say, you know what? I can be that ecosystem that will provide solutions to this group of people. You don't have to be the one with all the answers. You can be that one-stop shop where you can help other people to be able to do whatever they can do. Like I said, many jobs are going to be online. This is a good time to pick up a tool, a skill here and there, to be able to learn and adapt to what is changing. The disruption, after all, won't come sometimes very easy, because some people will need to learn. The learning curve is greater for one person than the other, depending on your background. Some people maybe have never done anything on the computer in their life. They've never touched the computer, but they've been able to get by because it wasn't required on their job. But right now, I don't know of anybody that's working from home that would not have to use a computer. So they would have tried to get their learning curve to a position that they can get that work done. So as they do it daily, you have a mastery. When you practice whatever you're supposed to do, you have the mastery of what is needed. Ease of you and I getting things done is paramount right now. A phone call, we can be on conference call, is not always on Zoom. A phone call, you can quickly do a text, a WhatsApp or something to someone, and they can respond to you, and that could change the whole demeanor of your presentation. So that's how connected we are. As much as we think we're far away, we're not so far apart. A quick gadget can disrupt the flow of anything that's happening. So, but we just need to get on board and see how can we play our role. How can we get our learning curve to a position that we as individuals can really enjoy this disruption. I know it sounds funny to say you're enjoying disruption. Yes, that's what's happening right now. And this disruption is also creating boldness, because in the future, this is what's going to happen. So I guess we're getting a taste of the future right now, knowing that even for delivery system, the drones and all of those things that are coming up and coming will be there. So even with that, you will have the ability to not have to worry about, stocking your package. You will see it in a camera way. You will see all the process. So there won't be any need to be worrying, where is it not? You will see it in camera. It will be in black and white in a photographic way. So all of this will bring ease, but it might be some teething problem. We have always believed in this human-centric way of doing things. Yes, it's humans that will program some of those things, but those humans, they need to get the knowledge curve. They need to get their hands on deck and begin to see and think of other ways. Because before we never envisioned a day where we would all shut down and be home and not have to move. For us, it's almost a month now. For other people, maybe more, some shorter. And we still don't know when the end is to this. So right now, we're all just at the mercy of when are we going to be released. But like I said yesterday, even being at home, businesses are still thinking ahead. An entrepreneur that's not thinking ahead of its game right now and its goals means that they're really trying to do, they're not really serious about their work. You can say, oh, this is a resting time. Whatever works for you. If rest is what you want to use this time for 24/7, good for you. But if you have been yearning for time to do other things, then this is the time to start playing around those other things and see if it works. If it doesn't work, you move to the next. It starts with service offering. You have to figure what are those services that you can offer that are unique, that are even online, that you can help to provide solutions to other people who maybe have never thought that they could get a remote support help. It's possible. There's nothing we can't do online. Nowadays, people would immediately, when you say, oh, I need help with something, they screenshot things. And before you know it, you have 10, 15 pages of all the screens that you would have to go through. And by the time you painfully go through all of them, you land yourself an answer and you feel good about it. And the more you do it, then you get more comfortable doing whatever you need to do. Even in the transportation industry, we remember that Uber, they did it. Uber came and they disrupted the transportation world, just like that. We were all wondering when I heard about Uber for my first time, like, how do you ride with a stranger who really you don't know? You just have to look at the picture and see that this is the color of their car. How do you know they're regular people, or that something is not wrong, that they would I was just having all those mindsets. But I know the younger generation, they don't even think about it. They just Uber, because that's somebody thought it fit to disrupt the transportation industry, and now it created employment opportunities for people. Because with Uber now, people go and get a car and they're using it to do Uber, and some will be at work, so they have a regular job and they have Uber that they can do on the side. That was a disruption that came. Same with Netflix. So there's so many signs of disruptive innovations that we've all experienced, and we experienced it and we see the result that after all, it's not as bad as it is. If we take our precautions, even with the Uber, if we take our precautions as we should, and with the way they screen their drivers and all the guidelines that they need, it's not as tough, as scary as it was when I heard it first. I'm like, I don't want to ride with a stranger. But a few times I've had to hop on the Uber and do whatever I need to do. But it creates employment, it creates ease and access for what we need to do. Netflix owns no brick and mortar. I don't remember any building that's Netflix. I don't. I have. If you can find one, tell me. That's part of the disruption. And you know that you can watch so many movies. Everybody that I know now, they have inched up their movie watching skill. I'm still trying to figure out how to have time to do that, because I get busy from morning till evening. I'm not complaining, but I enjoy what I'm doing. But there are people that now they have their quiet time, their free time. They're on Netflix. They're watching one movie or the other, and that's what they want to do. But there's no Netflix building. It's just another disruption in the movie industry and the entertainment industry. Zoom, same thing. All of a sudden, I'm sure when Zoom started, some of us were wondering, who even thought about this? How possible is it? There's Facebook Live. Zoom came. And look, Zoom is almost everybody's friend now. There's hardly any company that would not have Zoom that can be accessed for meeting. And they did it so nicely. It's so professionally done that it's very professionally friendly, and it's also for meetings. And you have good meetings. You can see who is talking, and they have it done very well. But I'm sure when they started it, it was a sudden thing, and it became very profitable. Every of this thing I'm talking about, I don't want to even go to the money part of it yet. You know, if it's not profitable, it's not going to be in existence. But these things have turned around, and the technology has added value and blessings to all of us. If you study all this trend that I'm saying, some of you might say, oh, Uber, yeah. You might have some mishaps about Uber, but it's a disruption when it came. And same with Zoom. And you can also sit back, if you want to be real, that these are things that have benefits. We've enjoyed the benefits of technology through those mediums, and now we're even enjoying it on a bigger scale. So this is a season that we want to say welcome to disruption. That's why I started with saying welcome to disruption, not to sound like a carrier of bad news. I know disruption, when we hear it, it sounds like, oh, something is negative. No, this is innovative disruption. And because we are all experiencing it, and we can all attest to one or two things that we could have not, we would have not been able to do if it wasn't for technology. I don't even know what we could have done without this technology, to be honest. Nothing. So it's so important that we do that. It starts with you and I having that willing heart to open our minds and also our wallet to some of the trainings that maybe the technology world is bringing. Some are even free right now. So if I were you, because we're home and we have some free time, catch some of those free trainings. Watch some of the videos. Watch things that will give you energy to even ignite your own passion and your vision for your life. This is the time to do that, because we're all on that level playing field. We're all on ground zero coming up. And what's nice and beautiful is we can all rise together. Nobody has to wait for the other. We can do it together, because when you bring your strength, I bring my strength, and we batter our skills and services, and we begin to do things, it can only get better and better, because what we're all trying to do is add value, make impact in life, and provide solutions. Everybody has a need. Everyone has a need, and that need is something that we're all trying to fill. So the only way you can know what needs you can fill is by you, of course, trying it, positioning, envisioning it. I'm sure by now we've sat at home for so many weeks. There are things we are seeing around that we're thinking, this will be a good idea. We might not have the dollars and cents. Don't worry about it. Just put it down. Put it on your drawing board. I know that that's an idea. You never know. Your investor might be waiting to partner with you, because everybody is going to need everybody. When we all rise up again, we're all going to need ourselves to be able to economically support one another, or technically to be technical partners, or to just be leadership partners. All of those things are going to be something that we have to look forward to seeing. Reduce movement, I said that already. If you want to execute your idea, this is a good time to try it out. First, you've got to get it off from your head, put it on paper, and begin to itemize who are the ones that will be responsible, or that you will partner to do that with. And once you do that, try it out. Like my mentor, I keep saying this, my mentor, do it afraid. The idea you have might not be perfect when you put it on paper the way you want it. And when I say perfect, there's nobody that's perfect. But human beings, sometimes we're hard on ourselves because we're used to doing things in a particular way. So we want to see it be in that particular way before we even bring it up. I'm saying just go ahead and start the way you are now and begin to let it grow. And when you do that, when you're doing it, start thinking about Uber. Think about Zoom. Think about Netflix. Think about drone that's coming now, that's going to also change the landscape of how the logistics industry is working. So think of it that if somebody never thought about Uber as a system, because it's really like a system. It's not, they don't give you the car, it's a system, but somebody sat it through and we all embraced it. Same with Netflix. So they're reducing overhead by going through that way. So what is in your hands? What knowledge, or who do you know, and who can you partner with, that you can be that innovator that can disrupt your own ecosystem, your area, to disrupt something that maybe people have been wondering how. Welcome, thanks for joining everyone. You can now say, you know what, this is what you're thinking. And when you can remember this, people who have mentioned, I'm sure it started with a few guys or girls sitting and just talking through it, and they gave it a shot, and it went well. So that's the same thing that should be happening now. This should not be the time to be lonely in a way that all you're thinking about is, oh, when is coronavirus going to be cured? The doctors and the medical people, they are doing that. If you're not a medical practitioner, I don't know if you will have a solution to that. You can pray about it. You don't need all day to pray for them. You pray and then you get to work, because we have to pick up the economic brunt of this, because there will be an economic impact. There will be a mental health impact, because every day you hear news, it's either you are depressed or you feel down. There's nothing good about the news right now. They're adding more and more. So rather than wasting energy hearing news that will depress you and make you mentally imbalanced, why don't you figure how can we be that Uber? How can we be that Netflix? How can we be that drone? Those who came up with the idea. And now they're sitting pretty, I'm sure. And things are happening. Or even Facebook. When Zuckerberg thought about this, I'm sure none of us embraced it immediately. But now look at it. And it's free too. So why don't we use this time? And it knows no color. Thinking and going deep and seeing what solutions can you provide has nothing to do with your color. It has to do with the willingness of your heart and the knowledge and the experience and the expertise that you have learned. And you can learn online. Use your time very productively. And as you do that, you will find out that you are also solution providers. I mean, every one of you that's watching now or that will watch later, if we purpose in our mind and team up and say, this is an area that is of interest, reach out to someone. See if you can collaborate. Share the idea. And when you do all of this, when you do that, when you collaborate, there's power in collaboration. Because the disruption can only start with idea. Those who disrupted the Uber, the transportation world, they disrupted the Netflix world, it started with an idea. I'm sure when they said it, I wasn't there, guys. I'm sure when they said it, probably somebody cringed. But because whoever initiated it was determined that, yes, this is going to happen. Was it easy? I wasn't there. Nothing good comes easy. But it's possible. That's what you want to find out. Is it possible? It is possible. If you can conceive it, it can be executed. It just needs to be something that you carry within you to know that, okay, I'm starting. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. So you might have to take baby steps. And before you know it, the baby steps will start growing. So this is the time for us to have that disruption, that innovative disruption. Or whatever ways we've been sitting home with our children, or we've been sitting home with our spouses and for almost 3-4 weeks. I'm sure every day we would have seen one thing we could do differently. And if it's working in your home, it can work in somebody else's home. Why don't you be the brand ambassador for that? And let them know that you have the testimonials because it worked for you. Some of us know that there's so many things we're good at. This is an opportunity to test it out. And whatever is working, especially in homes right now, I'm very particular about the homes because I believe in my core heart that if you have no peace in your home, there's absolutely no way you can sustain what you build. You can fake it, but you can't sustain it. So what's the point of building what we can't sustain? But right now, we're home with the children. We're home with our spouses. This is the time to share and let them know the passion, the things we're passionate about, and carry them along. Don't leave them behind. Don't say, oh, I'm trying to do this. When I'm doing my show, I beg everybody, give me an hour. I want peace and quiet, please. No dragging of chairs. You know, I know, I mean, you can say, wow, it's only an hour, you all. Please give me a chance. And they know I love doing what I'm doing. So everybody tries to do everything they need to do so that they won't have to come to the area or come near where the noise will project. So just carry your families along. We are families. Everybody wants your success, especially your family. But if we're carrying it within and sneaking about it, then we're going to be bitter. I hear the domestic violence has gone up. Why? We should use this time to bond and embrace one another. This is not the time we should let the devil break our homes or make our children our enemies. Those children are joy. Please, let's try our very best. And they're too smart. Oh my God, they're too smart. And if you only pay attention to them, that problem we have, they might be the solution, you all, even though we never give them credit, especially older people. So please remember that. I know my time is spent. I have to hop on IG Live. I have Mr. Dunsi that will be joining me live. He is an innovative disruptor from Nigeria and Africa, and he's all over the world, connected, a global citizen. So I need to hop off and then hop onto IG Live. And if some of you can join us, please hop in and join. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everyone. God bless you. Take care and be safe. Wash your hands and wash your mind. Blessings.